I knew you would live to disgrace me, I would have buried you with your mother.
Chief Okafor said angrily. The slap landed before the words finished forming in Ruth's mouth. She tasted blood. She tasted shame. Ruth knelt on the cold cement floor, her eyes fixed on the cracked tiles as Obioma laughed softly behind her.
Did you see her face? Like a goat waiting for slaughter.
Chief Okafor adjusted his wrapper and spat on the floor.
This cursed child, always breathing when she shouldn't.
Once Ruth had a mother, Adan. Once she had warmth. Then death came, took her baby brother first, then swallowed her mother with grief. What remained was a father who hardened like stone and a stepmother whose heart never existed. While they ate on the dining table, Ruth ate on the floor. While plates were washed clean, hers were cracked and brown with age. While laughter filled the house, Ruth slept on a mat, in a room without light, without a fan, without mercy.
Why should I waste school fees on a girl that would marry and go?
Obioma often said. And Chief Okafor always nodded. At 18, Ruth dared to hope. Maybe now he would help her start something small. Shop. A table at the roadside. That night, they called her into the sitting room. Obioma smiled first. That smile meant blood. We have found you a husband, Chief Okafor said flatly. Ruth's knees shook. Father, husband. He is rich, Obioma added quickly. Very rich. But he is paralyzed, Chief Okafor continued. On a wheelchair. You will marry him. Ruth fell to her knees. I beg you, please. I will work. I will suffer. Just don't. He slapped her. Shut up. You have no choice. You will bring money to this house or die useless. That night they locked her in. As Ruth cried herself to sleep on the cold floor, one thought burned in her chest. Marriage might be pain, but staying here is death. Dami did not want a wife. He wanted his legs back. When Chief Mof spoke of marriage, Dami laughed bitterly. Is a woman medicine? He asked. Marriage will not cure paralysis. Chief Mof's face hardened. You will marry. End of discussion. Dami said nothing after that. Ruth was delivered like property. Bride price paid without the groom present. Her father smiled wider than ever before. Take her, Chief Okafor told Chief Mof. Beat her if she misbehaves. She is stubborn. Dami watched her the first night with cold eyes. Do not touch my things, he said. Do not enter my study. Sleep on the floor. She obeyed. Every night, Ruth slept beside the bed on a mat, listening to the sound of Dami turning angrily, punching the mattress with fists that once carried dreams. When she tried to help him push his wheelchair, he shouted.
Get away from me. Pity disgusts me. Did my father buy you to mock me?
She cried silently. There were days Dami refused food she cooked. Days he insulted her body. Days he poured his anger into words sharper than knives. You are weak. You smell of suffering. You remind me of everything I lost. Ruth swallowed it all. At night, she massaged his legs with trembling hands, praying quietly. God, let him walk again. Even if I don't smile again. Hatred lived in that house. Love was not invited. Chief Okafor visited in anger unannounced. He banged the gate so hard. Ruth's body stiffened the moment she heard that voice. Open this gate before I break it down. Her heart dropped to her feet. Dami was in the sitting room, trying to move his wheelchair closer to the window when the shouting continued. Security! Chief Okafor roared. Are you deaf? The gate creaked open. Moments later, Chief Okafor stormed in like a curse that refused to be buried. Dust rose under his feet. His eyes were wild, burning with entitlement and rage. Ruth stood frozen near the kitchen entrance. Dami noticed her trembling hands. Why are you shaking? He asked sharply. Before she could answer, Chief Okafor's voice cut through the air. Where is that useless girl? Dami turned.
This is my house. You can't barge in here like...
Chief Okafor laughed mockingly.
Your house? But you can't even stand in your own house.
The words landed like stones. Dammy's jaw tightened. Ruth stepped forward slowly. Father! Before the word finished leaving her mouth, he slapped her. The sound echoed. Ruth staggered back, her cheek burning, her ears ringing. You are still calling me father? Chief Okafor shouted. After you refused to send money. Tears spilled down Ruth's face. I don't have anything, she whispered. I barely eat. Chief Okafor shoved her. You lie. Obioma's voice echoed in Ruth's memory. Crying manipulator. Chief Okafor turned to Dammy. This girl is poison, he said. She destroyed her mother, and she will destroy you. Dammy clenched his fists. Watch your mouth, he said quietly. Chief Okafor scoffed. You married a curse. That is your problem. Ruth shook her head violently. Please stop. Another slap followed, harder this time. You are not allowed to talk. You don't deserve air. Ruth fell to her knees. Something inside Dammy snapped. Get out, he said, his voice shaking with restrained fury. Leave my house. Chief Okafor stared at him, then burst into laughter. Look at you defending her, he mocked. Did she already turn you into her puppet? Dammy tried to move forward, his wheelchair jerking clumsily. I said leave. Chief Okafor leaned closer, lowering his voice. You think she loves you. She married you to escape hunger. She will leave you the day she finds a better man. Ruth sobbed openly now. That's not true, she cried. I never asked for this marriage. Chief Okafor turned back to her, eyes cold. You don't ask in this life, he said. You obey. He bent down and grabbed her chin forcefully. Mark my words, he whispered. You will come back begging. Dammy slammed his hand against the wheelchair armrest. Touch her again, he warned, and I will call the police. Chief Okafor straightened slowly. You can't even chase a fly. Silence fell thick, suffocating. Then Chief Okafor spat on the floor. I am done here, he said. For now. He pointed at Ruth. You are still my property. He walked out. The gate slammed. Ruth collapsed fully, her body shaking violently. Dammy watched her from across the room, anger boiling but confusion drowning it. He wheeled closer. Is that how he always treated you? He asked coldly. Ruth didn't answer. She just cried. Something dark twisted inside Dammy. Not pity, not kindness, but resentment. So this is what I married, he muttered. Trouble. That night, Dammy did not speak to her. He slept on the bed. Ruth slept on the floor, curled into herself, replaying every word, every slap. Outside the wind howled. Inside the wounds deepened. And far away, Chief Okafor dialed a number. His voice dripping with poison. Chief Mof, he said, your son needs to control his wife before she ruins him. The call ended. And another storm quietly began to gather. Pain does not disappear because you ignore it. It waits. And then it explodes. The call from Chief Okafor did not die in the air. Traveled. Settled. And it poisoned. 2 days later, Chief Mof summoned his son. Dammy sat before his father in silence. His wheelchair positioned carefully, his jaw clenched tight. Ruth was not allowed into the room. She knelt outside the door, pressing her ear against the wall, her heart pounding. You are becoming weak, Chief Mof said at last. Dammy scoffed. Weak. Because I told a man to stop beating his daughter in my house. Chief Mof slammed his walking stick on the floor. That man is her father. And you are forgetting your place. Dammy's eyes flashed. My place. So my legs don't work, my mouth shouldn't work too? Chief Mof leaned forward. You married that girl to bring peace, not chaos. Dammy laughed bitterly. Peace. She came with wounds, Baba. Wounds you people created. Chief Mof's face darkened. Be careful, he warned. A woman like that can ruin a man's destiny. She is cursed, Chief Mof continued. Her father said it himself. Dami was quiet for a long moment. Then he spoke slowly. Since when did you start believing Chief Okafor's mouth? Chief Mof stood up abruptly. I will not tolerate disrespect. If she disobeys you, discipline her. You are the man. The words hit Dami like a slap. That night, Ruth sensed it immediately. She served him food quietly, kneeling as usual. Stand up, he barked suddenly. She froze. I said stand up. She stood trembling. Did you go and report me to my father? He asked. Her eyes widened. No. I swear I didn't. Liar. Your father ran to poison him. Tears streamed down her face. He always does things on his own, she cried. Please believe me. Dami pushed the plate away violently. So now I am fighting two fathers because of you. She fell to her knees instinctively. I never wanted any of this, she sobbed. I just wanted peace. Dami laughed darkly. Peace. You brought war into my life. That night, he refused to let her sleep in the room. Sleep outside, he ordered. Let mosquitoes eat you since you are used to suffering. Ruth slept in the corridor, curled against the wall, mosquitoes feasting on her skin, tears soaking the concrete. In the morning, Obioma arrived unannounced. She walked around the house, inspecting, smiling cruelly. So this is where you are enjoying life, she mocked Ruth. See how fat you've become. Ruth said nothing. Obioma leaned close and whispered. No matter where you go, suffering will follow you. He turned to Dami. My brother, she said sweetly. This girl knows how to pretend. Don't let her deceive you. Dami nodded slowly, his face unreadable. Later that day he shouted for Ruth. Come here. She rushed in. Massage my legs, he ordered harshly. Harder. She obeyed, her hands shaking. Harder, he shouted again. She winced as her fingers ached. You think kindness will make me walk? He spat. You are foolish. Her tears dropped on his legs. Stop crying. Your tears don't heal paralysis. That night, as she lay on the floor beside the bed, her body sore, her heart shattered, Ruth whispered to the darkness. God, how long? Dami lay awake too, staring at the ceiling, anger battling something unfamiliar in his chest. Guilt. Outside the house, thunder rumbled again, low, warning and unfinished. And somewhere between hatred and exhaustion, something fragile was beginning to crack, though neither of them was ready to name it yet. That morning, the house was unusually quiet. Ruth was in the kitchen, scrubbing a pot that had already been scrubbed clean twice because idleness scared her more than pain. Dami was alone in the sitting room, struggling as usual, anger written across his face as he tried to move without calling her. The wheelchair jerked. His hand slipped. The crash came hard. Ah! Dami screamed. The sound pierced the house. Ruth dropped the pot and ran barefoot into the sitting room. She found him on the floor, twisted awkwardly, sweat pouring down his face, pain contorting his features. For a second he looked small, broken, human. Don't touch me, he shouted instinctively. But Ruth was already kneeling. I am here, she said softly, her voice shaking. I won't leave you like this. Go away. I don't need your pity. She ignored him. With strength that surprised even her, she lifted him slowly, carefully, whispering words she had whispered for years. You are not useless. You are still a man. You are seen. When she finally sat him back on the wheelchair, Dami was breathing heavily. His eyes red, not just from pain. Why do you keep doing this? He asked hoarsely. Why don't you hate me like everyone else? Ruth knelt in front of him. Because hatred already finished its work in my father's house, she said quietly. I won't let it finish me here. Something broke. Dami turned his face away, but his shoulders shook. For the first time since the accident, Dami cried. Not silent tears, loud, ugly sobs. I lost everything, he choked. My legs, my dreams, my pride. Ruth reached for his hands hesitantly. I lost everything too, she whispered. But I'm still standing. That night, he did not send her to the floor. Sleep on the bed, he said gruffly. Just don't touch me. She lay on the edge, stiff, afraid to breathe. Days passed. Arguments still came, but they no longer cut as deep. Then Chief Okafor returned, this time like a madman. The gate shook violently. Ruth! Come out, you wicked child. Dami wheeled himself forward. Get out of my compound, he said firmly. Chief Okafor laughed bitterly. You see, she has turned you against me. He turned to Ruth. You think you are now a woman because you married disability? You will still crawl back to me. Demi snapped. Enough. Chief Okafor stared, shocked. Don't ever raise your voice at me again, Dami said, his voice steady. You are the reason she flinches when someone lifts a hand. Chief Okafor scoffed. She is cursed. Dami moved forward, positioning his wheelchair between Ruth and her father. If she is cursed, he said, then I choose that curse. Chief Okafor's face twisted with rage. You will regret this. Dami picked up his phone and dialed. Security. Escort this man out. Ruth watched in disbelief as her father was pushed away, still shouting insults. You will beg me. You will come back with tears. The gate slammed shut. Ruth collapsed onto the floor, shaking not from fear this time but release. Dami knelt awkwardly from his wheelchair and held her. I won't let him touch you again, he said. Not under my watch. Weeks later the news came. Fire. Chief Okafor's house had burned to ashes. His shop, his documents, his pride. Bioma left. People whispered. Ruth heard. She felt nothing. No forgiveness. Dami asked gently one night. Ruth shook her head. He stopped being my father long ago. Demi nodded. Then let him stay in the ashes he created. 2 years passed. Ruth returned to school. Dami worked on his strength relentlessly. One evening, with effort and pain, Dami stood, shaking, trembling, holding on to Ruth. Tears streamed down her face. You're standing, she whispered. He smiled weakly. And you're finally living. He knelt then, not in weakness, but in intention. We didn't start this right, he said. I hated you. Hurt you. I let others hurt you. I want to start again. Ruth, will you marry me properly this time? She cried into his arms. Yes. Far away, Chief Okafor sat alone among ruins, staring at his empty hands, whispering. I am still her father. The daughter he broke never came back. She already buried him in her heart alive. And in choosing not to forgive, Ruth finally became free. Some fathers create wounds. Some husbands become healing. And sometimes, survival itself is the victory. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, kindly subscribe, comment, and share for more stories like this.